You should be nice and comfortable on your mat. Just a reminder, if you're not there yet, a supported back bend is a great place to start, great way to start. So lying down on your back with the block behind your shoulder blades. And let's begin, before I jump to the reading, let's begin with a breath practice that is going to be pretty simple this evening, is just belly breathing. And so a way that I like to do it, and I'll turn towards you. So a way I like to do it is when you lie down on your back, whether you have the block behind your shoulders or not, personally, I like to do belly breathing without the block because I feel like I can't really inhale into my belly with the block behind my shoulders, but everybody's different. So lie down on your back and then have your hands on your belly. I like to have one above and one below my belly button. And as you inhale, breathe so that your hands rise. So really puff up your belly. And then as you exhale, your hands fall first. So inhale and exhale. So the reason, keep going, go ahead and keep following along with the inhales and the exhales. So the reason it's nice to have your hands on the belly is because that's just physical feedback, so that you can kind of feel where your breath is going and what your body's doing. So keep moving through some belly breaths here. I'm going to try my mic again. I've decided that I like using the mic for yoga, but I don't like using it for bodyweight training because I'm breathing really hard in bodyweight training, and I don't necessarily want you to listen to every single one of my breaths. But yoga is great because I actually do want you to hear my breath. Okay. It says my default mic has changed. Yeah. Will somebody message me if you can't hear me? And I'm just going to assume that you can. So what I wanted to talk about this evening before we move into our practice, as you are breathing, is I wanted to talk about choosing what we think about, because even our thought life, just as our movement practices are a choice, are a conscious choice, I truly think that our thinking practices are a choice. And now more than ever, it becomes absolutely essential to practice the discipline of choosing our thoughts, choosing thoughts that lead to life, not away from life, choosing thoughts that that decrease rather than increase our anxiety, choosing thoughts that that speak love and truth to our loved ones and to ourselves. And so who better to remind us than the Apostle Paul? Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And I'm going to go through that list again. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And these are some closing lines from Paul's letter to the Philippians, and there's some good stuff in here too. Up above, just a couple lines before, he says, "Don't be anxious about anything. Don't be anxious, but in everything by prayer and petition, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." And so I just invite you to, as you move through practice today, observe your thoughts as you observe the joints and muscles in your body. And so notice where your thoughts are going. Notice if you are what comes up for you in perhaps a challenging pose, or notice where your mind wanders to partway through your practice, because our thoughts, our brain is an organ, is part of our body. I think sometimes we think of our mind and our thoughts as not being part of our body. But if you can discipline your breath, if you can discipline the mobility and the strength of your joints, then you can also discipline your attention. And that is worth doing. And like I said, now more than ever is a worthwhile practice. And so with that, go ahead and take it through a couple more belly breaths here on your mat, and we will get moving with our breath here in a couple moments. All right, so here on your mat, if you have the block between your shoulder blades, go ahead and just set it off to the side. And then bend your knees, walk your heels up toward your hips, and step your feet pretty wide on the mat. So you can't see me from the side, but I want you to have your feet pretty wide on the mat, because what we're going to do first is we're just going to start to windshield wiper our knees to the right, to the left. And so we're just mobilizing our hips in their joints here, which also is connected to the low back. So if you've been sitting for any amount of time today, your low and mid back might have taken a little bit of a beating, might be feeling a little bit compressed. And so starting to just mobilize your hips in their sockets starts to get the joints and muscles moving in a really gentle way, right to left. And stay with that deep belly breath. So as you inhale, maybe your hands are on your belly. As you inhale, your hands rise. And as you exhale, your hands fall. If it's comfortable for you and not too challenging, try to maintain nose breathing for as long as you can throughout the duration of your practice. The health benefits of nose breathing are that your nose filters the air better than mouth breathing does. It also slows the intake, the amount of intake, to the degree that it actually improves your oxygen absorption when you nose breathe. And so it is worth cultivating that. Just like the joints and muscles get stronger, become more capable with practice, so does our breath. All right, so go ahead and hug the knees to the chest, tuck the tailbone under, pick the shoulders and head off the earth, and start to roll side to side, right to left. And then also up and down the length of the spine, down to the tailbone, up to the neck, down to the tailbone. And if you are outside or on a hard surface like cement or a hardwood floor, you might skip this part. And when and if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and roll over the ankles, bring it into tabletop. And today in tabletop, we're going to take it through cat-cow, but instead of just the usual cat-cow, I want you to think about cat-cow as originating from your tailbone. And so think of your cat-cow rather than just a bend and flex and a bend and flex. Think of it as a wave, all right? And so start with a neutral spine here, and we're going to start with the back bend. And so start by releasing just the tailbone toward the sky, and then the belly, and then the lower ribs, and then the upper ribs, and then the chin, and then the gaze goes up. And now start that same, reverse the movement again from your tailbone. So start by tucking just the tailbone under, and then the low back, and then follow each vertebrae at a time up between the shoulder blades, the neck, the chin tucks last. All right, so keep taking it through a few rounds of cat-cow here, except really slow, really mindful. Thinking of it as a chain reaction, always beginning the movement from the tailbone. If it's not too distracting, see if you can also connect the breath to the movement here. So inhale as you arch the back, and exhale as you round the back. But if that starts to get too confusing, then just skip the breathing part. Nice and slow. Take it through a few more cat-cows, so slowly, so mindfully. All right, come back to a neutral spine and start to take some right to left movement, shoulder to hip, just like you're looking behind your tailbone or behind your hips for your tail. Right to left, don't forget to include your neck. All right, we're going to take it through a soft flow here from child's pose through tabletop to a little baby cobra. So go ahead and settle the hips back toward the heels into a child's pose, but don't get super comfortable because on the inhale, bring it back up to tabletop. And on the exhale, bend at the elbows, lower all the way to the earth. So the tops of the thighs, the belly, the chest touches. Inhale, cobra, just peel the chest and shoulders off the mat. The gaze is forward. Exhale, take it back to child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop. Exhale, cobra. Try to lower as one from shoulders to knees. Inhale, tabletop or cobra. Exhale, child's pose. We're going to take it through 4 or 5 full rounds of this to just get nice and comfortable with the breath. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, cobra. Inhale. Oh, I keep saying that. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Full and complete inhales and exhales. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. To the degree that you can, try to breathe with the nose. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Child's pose, exhale. One more time all the way through. Inhale. Exhale. Cobra, inhale. Child's pose, exhale. And just pause for a moment in child's pose with the forehead on the earth. So we started right away with warming up our upper back. And so if it would feel really nice for your upper back, maybe try walking your elbows toward one another on the mat, just to create a little bit of space, a little bit of a rotation in the shoulders that translates down into the space between the shoulder blades. All right, so just a few long, slow breaths here in child's pose. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, and you can still maintain that belly breath in child's pose. And so since you have space between your knees here, allow the belly to expand, pulling that breath deep into your body, and then also allow the belly to press the air out of the body as you exhale. All right, bring it back up to tabletop, and then step the hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips if they've wandered at all. And we're gonna cross the midline here. So pick up the right leg, press the right heel back behind you. The leg is elevated in line with the hip, and pick up the left arm. So right leg, left arm, opposite leg as arm. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend, maintain tension in the low belly. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. And back down to tabletop. Other side, pick up the left leg, right arm. Inhale, reach from the shoulder, from the hip. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, last time to reach. Tabletop on the exhale. We're going to go right back into it on the other side. Pick up the right leg, left arm. And on the exhale, pop the right hip on top of the left. You can stamp the left hand back to the earth and then reach the right fingertips to the sky. So your right hip, right Exactly. Yeah, your right leg is straight, your right knee is straight, and then reach the right fingertips up. On the inhale, bring the shoulders up over the hips. Exhale, nice long side stretch, gaze goes up. Inhale, shoulders over hips. Exhale, lower to the earth with control. Maintain tension in the low belly and the side waist. Inhale, shoulders over hips. Exhale, gaze goes up. Inhale, shoulders over hips. Exhale, plant the left hand. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, back to tabletop. We're going to go into it. On the other side, pick up the left leg, right arm, fire up the core, and then straighten the left leg, stack the left hip on top of right. And the right hand is beneath the shoulder. Take an inhale to bring the shoulders over hips. Exhale for the side stretch, gaze goes up. Inhale, shoulders over hips. Exhale, plant the right hand. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time all the way through. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, circle the hand to the earth, back to tabletop. Curl the toes under, shift the body weight back onto the balls of the feet. And just for a moment, fire up the core to lift the knees off the earth. So come into this quadruped position. The shoulders are over the wrists, the hips are over the knees. And just hang out here for a couple breaths. Tuck the tailbone under, activate the low belly. All right, now straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog. So pedal the feet, right, left, press one heel, then the other into the earth. We'll take the body weight off of our shoulders here in just a couple moments here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in downward facing dog. So if the shoulders are starting to fire up, stay with it just for a couple more moments. Okay, like I said, step the feet pretty wide, walk the hands back toward the heels. Take a soft bend in the knees and then hook the elbows or the pinkies into the opposite elbows. Just gently sway side to side. All right, heel toe the feet together so toes, heels touch, and then bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift, so lengthen the crown of the head forward, flat back, and maybe you've got your hamstrings straight too. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Couple half sun salutations here at the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms overhead, reach. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Two more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to stand. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Nice. So release the hands down by your side, step your feet about hip distance apart, and just check in with your body, with your stance. And so I like to do this by scanning from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. And so when we start with the soles of the feet, maybe try rocking the body weight forward into the toes, back into the heels, forward into the toes. And maybe pick up the toes, spread them nice and wide, press them back into the earth. Bring that awareness to that foundation of your feet. And then from that foundation, bring your awareness up through the ankles, the knees, find balance, equality from right to left. Nice and strong through the hips, not tucking under too much, not spilling forward too much. We're staying level between the two hip points. And then roll the shoulders back and down. Tall through the crown of the head, slide the head back so the ears are in line with the shoulders. And then on the inhale, just reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands forward to plank. Pause here for a moment. So here at the top of the plank, nice and strong through the shoulders. Find that space between the shoulder blades and lift that space toward the sky. So we're really active in the upper back. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, lower all the way to the earth as one. Inhale, cobra, gazes forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. Something that feels nice in downward facing dog that you can try just on your own time, anytime, is rather than even just pedaling the feet right, left, you might try picking up one foot and then just hooking the toes onto the heel of the opposite foot. It just kind of helps stretch out that hamstring. As it starts to heat up, as it starts to warm, you can really focus on getting a stretch on the right side than the left side, pulling that stretch down into the calves, the Achilles. Okay, so from downward facing dog, inhale, lift the right leg any amount. And on the exhale, step it through next to the right thumb, lower the back knee to the earth. Take an inhale here with the front knee over the front ankle, and we're going to flow back and forth from lunge to hamstring stretch. So take an inhale. Exhale, roll it towards straight. You've probably done this with me before, so follow your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring the knee over the front ankle. Again, curl the back toes under. Bring the arms overhead, coming into crescent lunge. So first time finding your balance here. Elbows are straight, palms facing each other. Soften the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, float the hands to the earth. Step it back to plank and take it through a flow, or you can skip it and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. 2 long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. All right, lift the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Lower the back knee to the earth. Prepare by supporting and stabilizing your hands on either side of that front foot. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, roll that left leg towards straight. You don't have to be able to straighten it all the way. Just towards straight is great. We're pulling that stretch into the hamstring. Inhale, bring the front knee back over the front ankle. Exhale into the hamstring. So take it away on your own time, on your own breath. 3 or 4 full rounds, nice and slow. See just how slowly you can take this. And since we started out talking about our thoughts, talking about choosing thoughts that are life-giving rather than taking, check in with your thoughts. I know it's easy to think of thoughts as being unconscious, but the more we train them, the more we identify and replace negative thoughts with more positive ones, the more it becomes a habit. All right, curl the back toes under. And on the inhale, bring it up to crescent lunge. Arms are overhead, elbows are straight. Take a soft bend in that back knee, but you're not lowering the knee to the earth. You're still really engaged in the back leg, back heel is lifted. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, hands to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow, or you can skip it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. All right, we're going to take it through a dancing warrior flow. Try to take it one breath at a time. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. On the inhale, rise to crescent lunge. Keep the back heel lifted. And on the exhale, spin the back heel down into warrior 2. Arms are in line with shoulders. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. And on the exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Nice long side stretch down the whole right side body. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. And just a reminder, I'm demoing Cobra as my back bend, but if you prefer Chaturanga, upward facing dog, that is also great. If you feel like skipping the flow, that's also great. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Inhale, crescent lunge, find your balance. Warrior two, exhale. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Keep that knee bend in the front knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, circle the hands, step back to plank, your choice of flow, or we'll meet in downward facing dog. In fact, now's a great time to hit child's pose. So bring the knees to the earth, bring the toes to touch, settle the tailbone back toward the heels, and soften the forehead down toward the earth. Come back to your breath. Breathe into your belly. All right, so press the palms into the earth, curl the toes under, take an inhale. And on the exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. All right, glance up at the hands. Walk your feet forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, so step the feet together. So toes, heels are touching. We're going to take it into chair pose. So body weight is in the heels. Inhale as you bring the arms overhead, bend at the knees, bend at the hips. Find a bit of a back bend up here in the upper back though. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, gaze is forward. Sink a little bit lower into the heels to the degree that you can. Body weight is rocked back to the back of the foot so that you can wiggle the toes. And also, by the way, while we're talking about the toes, glance down and see if you can see your toes in front of your knees. That's how far back I want your body weight to be. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step it back to plank vinyasa or skip it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. All right, on the next inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb and spin the back heel down before your hands leave the earth. And glance down at your feet. You want to have some space from right to left between your feet. So it's like your feet are on train tracks. Bring the arms overhead in warrior one. So in warrior one, you want to keep drawing your left hip forward. Your back leg is straight. Your front knee is over the front ankle. Your back heel is on the earth in warrior one. So it's less balancy than crescent lunge, a little bit more stable, which gives us the opportunity to try fun things with our arms, which is what we're about to do. So bring the arms behind your back. If you can, interlace the fingers. And if you can interlace the fingers, press the palms into one another. So you want to seal the palms together up to the wrist crease. So take an inhale, roll the shoulder blades together behind your back. And on the exhale, hinge forward and down inside that right knee, coming into humble warrior. And so while you're down here, hanging out next to your right knee, right shin, the idea here is that your shoulder is inside that right knee. And so it's pressing it wide, getting a little bit of a stretch in the inner thigh. And then as the thigh presses back, you also get a little bit of a massage in your abdominals, your digestive system. On the next inhale, come on back up to standing. Press into the earth with that right leg. Bring the arms overhead back to warrior one. Nice job. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step it back to plank and take it through a flow. Okay, left leg. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Same thing, spin the back heel down and make sure you've got some space from right to left. Inhale, warrior one. So you kind of know where this is going. That's why you want to have space from right to left. You want to have enough room for your trunk to hinge down inside of that left knee there. Okay, so we prepare in warrior one. think about straightening up and activating that back right leg and draw the right hip forward even while you keep the heel on the earth. So there's quite a bit of a stretch here in that right hip flexor. All right, so soften the arms behind the back, and you might even switch your grip. So grip your fingers together the weird way. Just feels a little new and different. All right, so roll the shoulders together behind the back. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, hinge at the hips, forward and down, inside that left knee, coming into humble warrior. Don't forget to breathe. And while you're thinking about your breath, maybe even come back to that belly breath. All right, on the next inhale, come on out of it the way you came into it with control. Warrior one, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the earth, step back to plank, take it through a flow or skip it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. All right, glance up at the hands, walk your feet forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose on the inhale, finishing it out just the way we started. Arms are overhead, really active in the mid back, upper back. Soften the shoulders down and away from the ears. Settle the tailbone even a little bit further back. It's like you're trying to sit down in a chair that you just can't quite get to. On the next inhale, come up to standing, bring the hands to heart center. Nice job. You can relax your arms down by your sides. And we're going to do a little bit of posture work here. So something that is a really great check-in for yourself as you're moving around throughout the day. A lot of times we can tend to put ourselves into shapes that roll our shoulder heads forward. And then when that happens, we forget to correct that. And we walk around all day long with this terrible posture that winds up stretching and unseating the shoulder blades from their proper place behind in the upper mid back. And so a quick check-in that you can do with your posture is look down at your hands, and then your thumbs are probably facing either forward or toward one another. And so think about anytime you notice your thumbs, think about going thumbs out. So your thumbs should be pointing out to the right or the left. So right thumb out to the right, left thumb out to the left. And when you do that, you cannot help but find the proper rotation for the shoulders, which then also creates a better posture for your upper back, right? So nice little check-in is to flip the thumbs out to the sides. Another way of thinking it is palms forward. This is an external rotation in the shoulders. So if we can remember to have our shoulders like this all day long, our posture will be better, our shoulders will be healthier, we'll breathe better. There's all sorts of reasons to have good posture. Okay, step on back to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. All right, inhale, lift the right leg. And on the exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. And this time we're going to take a similar breath flow that like we took earlier with the knee down. And in fact, if you prefer to put the knee down, you can also do that. So we're going to do, so it's up to you, knee up or down. If your knee is up, then your back heel is probably going to stay floating this entire time. So take an inhale with the front knee over the front ankle. Exhale, roll that right leg towards straight. Inhale, front knee over the front ankle. Exhale, roll it towards straight. All right, so take it away on your own time, on your own pace. And just kind of explore this. So there's a lot more going on in the hamstrings if your knee is up. but your hamstrings can take it because they're nice and warm now. All right, on the next inhale, bring that front knee back over the front ankle and bring the arms overhead, coming into crescent lunge. Exhale into warrior two. Now straighten the right front leg, pivot on the right heel, so arms are in line with shoulders. I'm going to turn around. Arms are in line with shoulders, take an inhale, and on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the legs. And you can plant your hands beneath your face and walk your hands back in line with your feet, or sometimes it feels really nice to walk your hands forward into kind of like a traction wide leg downward facing dog. It can also feel really nice if you have your block to walk the block out really far forward, and you can get a nice stretch between the shoulder blades back there. Actually, it's across the front of the chest. It draws the shoulder blades together. So it's up to you. A few things you can do here in this wide leg stretch. If you have walked your hands away from your hips, so if you're working on getting that traction in the upper back, then try to let your head dangle heavy between your arms. And come back to that nice deep belly breath. Okay, slowly go ahead and walk back up out of it. Bring your hands to your hips, press all the way up to standing. And now step your feet just a little bit closer together, so about a leg distance apart. And now bend the knees and plant the hands on the knees. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to drop one shoulder down and then the other shoulder down. So a nice little twist for the upper back and also the front of the shoulders. This feels really nice. So the idea here is that you're kind of just leaning into the stretch any which way that feels good for you for your upper back. And don't forget to bring your neck into it too. So as you drop one shoulder under, peer up over that opposite shoulder, as long as you can maintain your balance. All right, go ahead and come on back out of it. And the right foot is forward. So pivot on the right heel again. We're just going to come out of it the way we came into it. Inhale, arms out, shoulder level. Bend the front knee, warrior two. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Left leg. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Okay, so this was just like on the other side. If you lowered your back knee, then go ahead and do that. This is the one where we go from a lunge to a straight leg, kind of a modified pyramid. And so have your hands on either side of that front foot. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, roll that left leg towards straight. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, towards straight. And take it away on your own time, on your own breath. Not only are we cultivating awareness of breath and also quality and depth of breath, but we're also cultivating your ability to link breath and movement, breath and effort, breath and relaxation. There's a lot that we can learn here on the mat, tethering our breath to the movements of our body that can then follow us into every movement of our life. But it all starts right here. All right, then on the next inhale, rebend the front knee, bring it up to crescent lunge, find your balance. On the exhale, bring it into warrior two. All right, so we're going to do another wide leg fold, but we'll do something different with our arms. Straighten the left leg, pivot on the left heel. Start by interlacing the hands behind the back, roll the shoulder blades together, and on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the legs. So it's kind of like humble warrior, where you're trying to press the palms toward one another, except this time your legs are doing the same thing instead of trying to get down inside of your right or your left leg. So just let gravity take hold of your palms and draw them toward the earth. All right, slowly bring the hands back to the low back. And we're going to take another little twisty for our upper back. Plant the left hand beneath the face, and on the inhale, reach the right fingertips toward the sky. Gaze goes up toward that upper hand. And then if you're feeling pretty good about this, maybe you can wrap the right arm around the backside waist and maybe catch the left inner thigh. And let's go ahead and unwind. Reach the right fingertips back up toward the sky. Exhale back to center. Before we just go right into it on the other side, try taking a little cat-cow here in this wide leg fold, and kind of like we did before, see if you can begin the movement from your tailbone, rounding and arching from the tailbone like a wave. Okay, plant the right hand beneath the face, and on the inhale, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. So it's like a little windmill. And then again, if you're feeling pretty good about this, maybe find the wrap around the backside waist. Gaze goes up. Relax what you can. Relax the jaw, relax the neck. All right, let's go ahead and unwind. Reach the left fingertips up, and on the exhale, back to center. All right, fire up the core, bring the hands to the hips, press all the way up to standing. Nice job. Cool, pivot on the left heel. Bring the arms out shoulder level, rebend the front knee. Take an inhale in warrior two. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Two long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. We're going to slow it down to some floor stretching now. So bring the knees to the earth. Bring the legs around in front of you. Okay, so have the right leg out straight. We did some hamstring today, so we might as well finish it up with some hamstring. Right leg straight, left is bent. Inhale, arms overhead. Square the shoulders over the right leg, and on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the right leg. Relax the neck, relax the jaw. If you can grab your foot, that's awesome, or your pant leg, or your ankle, whatever you can reach. Ultimately, do have your right leg, your right knee straight. So don't just bend the knee so you can reach the foot. That's kind of counterproductive. So only hinge as far forward as your knee remains straight. Okay, so let's go ahead and come on out of it, but rather than just go right into it on the other side, we're gonna turn this into a little side back bend. So with your right leg straight, take your left hand and bring it around behind your tailbone, so plant it on the earth, and now reach the right fingertips up toward the sky. Okay, so now you're gonna press into the right heel and the left shin to press the hips toward the sky and get a nice little back bend slash side bend, because it's kind of up to you whether you want to turn it into more of a back bend and kind of bring that up into your chest and drop the head back, or you can turn it more into a nice long side bend if that feels really good. So kind of locate the backside bend combo that works for you today. And then when you're done playing around with it, come on out of it, settle the tailbone back down. And now we can switch sides. Have the left leg out straight, right is bent. Inhale, arms overhead, square the shoulders over the left leg. Exhale, fold forward and down over the left leg. Okay, and then we're going to slowly come on out of it. Same as on the other side. The left leg is straight. That means the right arm goes around behind your tailbone. Reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. Just like somebody's pulling your hand up toward the sky, press the hips into this little backside bend that works for you today. Maybe drop the head back, relax the neck. And then slowly come on out of it. Nice. All right, so bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to do one set of butterfly. Okay, so soles of the feet together. You're sitting up high on your sit bones. Take an inhale. I like to grab hold of my big toes. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, hinge forward and down, and lead with the chest, right? So it's not just so much about rounding the spine and burying your forehead on your feet. Think about leading with the chest to hinge forward from the hips. And then with your elbows, if you want, you can try pressing the knees away from one another. You know, this is definitely one of those stretches that you can do any hour of the day, anywhere. So we should all have really flexible butterflies by the end of quarantine, because you can sit and watch TV doing this. You can sit and eat breakfast sitting in butterfly. Lots of options. All right, go ahead and come on back to seated. And then, so we're going to do kind of a windshield wiper again with the legs like we did at the beginning of our practice. And so we can do it seated. If you prefer to be supported, then your hands can be behind your back. If you think you might be able to do it unsupported, then maybe try windshield wipering your feet without touching your hands to the earth. It's kind of a lot of range of motion in the hips, because if you'll notice what the hip joints are doing in their sockets is one of them's internally rotating while the other externally rotates, and then you switch. But this is a really great range of motion to cultivate in your hips, particularly if you've ever had a hip injury. Mom, I'm looking at you. Because this range of motion of both hip sockets at the same time, your hips are connected to so many muscles, your hip flexors, your low back, that if you can maintain and cultivate this range of motion, then it's connected to so many other things that we do, so many other activities and movements that we take in our body. Okay, so come on back out of that windshield wiper. And let's move into our final resting pose. And so any way that's comfortable for you, you might lie down on your back, you might have your legs straight, you might have your legs bent, you might do a supported back bend again if you would like to take that for your Shavasana. You can do that between your shoulder blades, arms out by your sides, arms on your belly, arms goal posted overhead. Lots of options here. Ultimately, my only ask is that you are able to close your eyes, that you are able to truly experience rest and allow your breath to flow naturally through your body. Shavasana. And slowly begin to reawaken the body. Wiggle the fingers, the toes. Roll out the wrists, the ankles. And when you're ready, reach the arms overhead toward the back. Point the toes toward the front. Take a deep breath and a full body stretch from fingers to toes and everything in between. And on the exhale, roll over to one side. And then when you're ready, press up to a comfortable seated position. whatever that looks like for you. Lightly rest your hands on your knees, close your eyes. Just bring your awareness back to those sensations in your body, your breath, your joints, your muscles, and your awareness. It is truly amazing what you can do with an hour of your time and the time and the space to devote to your breath and focusing your mind on things that matter. On the next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful evening. Namaste.